What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Collector's Outpost. I am John. Today, I'm excited to take a look at this brand new Hot Toys figure. It actually came out a little bit earlier than it was expected, which is really cool, but you know, Sideshow took its time getting it out to me. But we're taking a look at the Baylan Skoll from the Ahsoka series. Ray Stevenson stole that show. This should have been the Baylan Skoll show. But here we go. We have the brand new Hot Toys Baylan Skoll 1/6 scale figure. Let's take a look. So right on the front, just looking at that picture of Baylan, that's the figure. That looks incredible. We have this little band around the side here, around the bottom, I should say. We have another picture of him. Look at that. That looks incredible. We have another picture there, some of the jargon on the back there, nothing here except for a little logo. And on the top, we do have a Star Wars logo. Now, let's dig on in because they usually have some great artwork right under this first layer here. Put that on the side, and yeah, man, look at that. That's a real, this would make, you know, I say this all the time, but this would be such a fantastic movie poster. You know, if they included a poster with this to put on your wall, or even if you were to cut this out and, you know, frame it, that is a fantastic piece of artwork. I love it. So before I get Baylan and all the accessories out on the table so we can take a closer look, if you are new here, checking out one of these videos for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Please drop down and hit the like, subscribe, and notification button for upcoming videos. I have more 6 scales coming and lightsabers, and I don't think you're going to miss those. And if you are a returning viewer, thanks so much for stopping by. Let's get on into this unboxing. So you'll see I haven't opened this at all. Everything's all covered in this plastic bits and all. So I'm gonna be seeing this for the first time as I'm filming it. So I'm really excited. Let's see, he should have a big cape. A lot of times I put those underneath here. Here we go. Put that on the side. All right, now pull everything out so we can check it out. Good God, that looks great. That is just my first look at it. It's fantastic. All right, so we have everything laid out here on the table. He doesn't come with a lot of accessories, and you know, I really didn't expect him to. You don't really see him in the show with much more than his lightsabers, but we do have a huge assortment of hands. His lightsabers, obviously, and his cloak. That stuff alone completely makes this figure. You could see that his right hand does have the ring. Love that, and this really does look like some nice armored plates. Really good paint work. The black is like a simple black, it's nothing crazy. So we have more of a holding or relaxed hand here. We do have a left and a right fist hand, and it looks like we have 2 lightsaber hands. This is going to be great if you want to kind of put the lightsaber on both of his hands as if he's holding it like this, double fisted. That's really cool. I'm glad they added that. And then we have some kind of cupping or holding hand. I'm assuming this would be if he had like that little map globe with him from the show. Outside of that, I don't really see what else this could be for. And it looks like we have a force push hand, and we have maybe, we'll call this a force choke hand, and another 2-finger force hand. And you'll see on him, he has another set of relaxed hands. So you'll see that he has 2 lightsabers. One is more of a belt hanger, no electronics or anything, of which just on its own like this, simple pose, looks badass. And the other one does have that USB plug to go into that little box. Both of them will accept blades. And for the blade options, we do have this kind of fan swooshy blade, which I never like and never use and always find it to be just way too heavy and too thick. And we have the normal blade, which is the one I always use. And you know, we'll put this on the other one with the USB so we can light it up. You'll see this little junction box here, this little converter. It has a USB-C over there, and then that small little connection on the other side for the lightsaber. Now, they do not give you a USB-C cable, which I really don't like. I really wish they would include a USB-C cable, because not only do you have to purchase the figure, but you'll also have to purchase another USB plug. So you're looking at, you know, $300+ for the figure, or whatever this costs, I don't even remember. And then you have to go out and purchase another plug to run this. I don't understand why they don't just give you a USB-C plug. So as I'm mentioning that, I do want to show you this lit up, because there is a single base lit LED in here to light up the lightsaber, but I do actually have to go and grab a USB-C plug. All right, so I have my little USB power situation over here so I can demonstrate this thing. Now on the side here, you'll see your power switch, and I turned off some of the lights in the room here so you can see this just a little bit better. And there you go. So it is just a single LED base lit there. You could see it's not too bad. It's way better than the older battery powered ones. But having a USB power that this can at least stay on all the time and be powered, is so much better. I do wish they can figure out how to get more of these custom ones like behind me, because this is not nearly as bright as the stuff I have on display behind me. Is it bad? You know, it's not great, but it's, you know, it's also not awful. And for those of you that don't want to go out and spend another $140 or so on a custom lightsaber just to have the whole blade lit like these guys behind me, this will do just fine. Now, like I was saying, I did turn off the main light just so you could see this a little bit better. I'll leave this on and let me turn on the main light. All right, there we go. So now the main light is back on. You could still see this, especially up against his outfit there. Again, not too bad, but yet still could be better. I mean, hopefully Hot Toys will get more on top of these custom lightsaber blades. And here is your more swooshy style blade. Again, I like these the least, and these go right back in the package, and I never see these again. Now, while we're talking about the lightsaber, let's get into the stand. It does come with this pretty standard stand here. You can see there's a little bit of weathering on the bottom. We do have a crotch grabber, and we've seen this stand a zillion times. Right up front there, we have a Baylan Skoll plaque. Usually for me, what I do for the USB converter for the lightsaber, it comes with these two options to either hang it from his belt or connect it to the stand. And I always use the stand. I just find it to be a lot easier. So you just click this right into the back, and you can pop that right on to the back of the stand, and you run the USB straight down and the wire straight up. I like this option a lot more because I'd rather not have anything hanging from the belts or any part of the materials of the actual figure. So I really love that we have that option. And last but not least, we do have his cloak. It has some wires down the front, so you'll be able to pose this up a little bit. It does seem to have a wire around the front of the hood. It has a wire around the top too. I wish all the robes had these wires around the top. That really will help make this sit really well on him. Love this. And I do think there's a wire around the back too. So we have 1, 2, 3, looks like 4 wires around the actual drape itself, around the actual robe. And we have 2 wires around this. Oh, I love this. Let's pop this on him and see what this looks like. This is so cool. I really love that they added all these extra wires. Every robe or cloak needs these wires. Now, as I'm messing around with the cloak here, I have to bring something up. First, we do have this pleather outline over here. We do have the wires, like I was saying before. However, there's no way to hook this robe or cloak together. There's no hook. So I'm gonna have to put this aside, unfortunately, and get in touch with Sideshow and send them some photos, because it's kind of a bummer. But while we're here, let's take a look at this anyway. Like I was saying, we have that pleather outline around the hood. Inside, there's another layer of more of a nylon-y kind of material on the inside. This is a very nice material for this. And at the bottom, I don't know if it's gonna show up there on screen, but the bottom does have some dirt weathering. You can see the transition right around here of the black to more of that kind of brown dirt at the bottom. And we do have those strings hanging down like it's been weathered and, you know, just kind of tattered from walking and all that stuff. So it's actually a very nice robe, especially the addition of all the really heavy duty wires up on top. Now, before we dig on into this glorious head sculpt, I just want to point out that these do have movable eyes, and you get this little tool to get in there and move the eyes around, but I'm going to leave the eyes just as is because I usually ruin them. So, but you do have this little tool to get in there and move his eyes around. Now, let's get into this head sculpt, because this head sculpt is fantastic. It's like next level. This looks exactly like the original prototypes I think that we saw. We've got all of the beautiful wrinkles on the forehead and the skin texture. Their beard sculpting is terrific, and even all the hair. Hot Toys has gotten so good at making hair. And beards, for some reason, they don't always come out great, especially on Obi-Wan Kenobi, but this one is fantastic. I love it. What a piece of artwork that is. Now, just zipping on down through the suit really quick, I don't really know what this material is. It could be like a nylon type of material, but it feels almost suede-y or rubbery. So I'm not really sure. It's probably some sort of nylon, I would think. It might say in that little manual book, but I really don't feel like grabbing that out. Then we have his armor plates. The armor plates look amazing. We have all of these little cracks and divots, and it's weathered. You have some of this green texture throughout, so it looks aged, and all the way around to these hooks that keep his suit together in the back there. Absolutely beautiful. And that paint work goes all the way down into his gauntlets. Look at the age and the weathering on those gauntlets. It's dinged up. We've got that kind of greening to it. I mean, even on the paint work throughout the suit itself, we have that greening and everything going through all of it. Touching the belt, I do think it's more of a nylon-y plastic. We have this little piece over here that's kind of draped down. I'm not really sure what this material is, but I do think it's like a plastic or a nylon. Then it looks like we have layers of material. Do any of these have wires for posing? No. So none of these have wires anywhere. Nothing around the bottom, nothing around any of these flaps here. So that is as it is, so there'll be no posing with that. And around the bottom, you'll see more of the material kind of coming apart. It's more tattered and, you know, weathered at the bottom there. And now the boots are a whole other story. Those things are fantastic. They did do a split boot cut, so you can see his pretty little ankles there. So you'll be able to get that into some great posing. There is some, this looks like leather, but it's not. But they did a great paint job on here. We have, you know, the more brown soles, and they completely weather it up. I really love when they do the split boot cut here. And underneath, we have a pretty simple material for his pants. I'm so bummed out about this cloak and not having the hooks, but I wanted to try to just get this into a position where I can at least show you what this looks like, because that looks badass. And I am telling you, having these extra wires around these hoods, up and around the front, makes a world of difference for posing these. All right, so you can see I'm trying to make the cape work even though there's no hook there. It's kind of ridiculous looking because it's not closing. But I just want to show you a little bit of what these wires can do as far as dynamics. I mean, I think we had 4 or 5 wires in there. So it's really helping. Look at the way the cape is flowing to add some movement to this pose. You can put this thing into some sort of statue pose and leave it like that because it's all material. When you're dealing with bodies like Ahsoka and you have a lot of the seamless bodies, or Darth Vader where the whole body is kind of like this pleather or this nylon-y material, you risk all of that stuff cracking over time. But a figure like this, all fabric, you can put into some of the craziest poses and leave it like that and never have to worry about it. And just checking out some of the basic articulation. These are on Velcro, so you can kind of pop these off and reposition them if you need, so you can get them away from the shoulder joints over here. So you do have some decent articulation there, and then when you get it into position, you can kind of just pop it on. Now, it's a little hard just because of the position there, so you really can't seem to get it to stick too much, because when you come up too far, because it's in a cup shape, it does kind of push it out of the way and it doesn't really grab on too well. So you're kind of limited, I think, on how high you can push that up. But we do have the whole twist. It does seem like we have a double joint there. Pop this back on. Forward, I mean, you're right around there. You know, it's the suit and everything kind of does hinder a little bit. So I'm getting, without pushing too hard, I'm getting to right about there. About that forward without having to push too hard. We've got a complete knee bend, which is great. And, you know, because we do have the boot split, we have great articulation in the ankles. So that'll be great posing for you. Now, there's really not a whole lot as far as the torso because there is a fat suit in there. So we're not getting really any crunch in the ab section there. And as far as the thighs do have a full twist in and out. Again, there is some sort of fat suit here just to thicken his thighs up a little bit. All right, my friends, I think that is about it for this Hot Toys 6-scale Baylan Skoll figure. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and while you're down there, help support the channel by hitting the like, subscribe, and notification button. That goes such a long way for helping to support the channel. All right, everybody, till next time, be safe and kind out there in the world. See ya.